All right, DC Universe has dropped some cool, movie poster themed character posters for their upcoming Doom Patrol TV series, which debuts February 15th, 2019, with pretty much, I think, the 5 or 6 main cast members. And I like how each one seems to harken back to a different period in like movie history, perhaps, or a different genre. And I can't really pick out or identify. That looks like a 70s movie versus a 60s movie versus a 50s movie or whatever, but I'll just talk about how they look. I think they're all very beautiful and cool. This first one is of Matt Bomer as Negative Man, Larry Trainor, aka Negative Man. And as you know, in his origin, Negative Man used to be a fighter pilot, and then something went wrong and he got powers. The negative spirit, was put in his body and made him radioactive. And you see below it has, the premiere, like the styled like a movie poster. I don't know, is this like a 50s movie or a 40s movie? I mean, I'm thinking Top Gun, but Top Gun was 80s, and this doesn't look like an 80s style movie poster to me. This definitely is 80s with, like the laser grid in the behind everything in the back. Brendan Fraser as Robot Man, and the font says Doom Patrol DC Universe Original. It's got the purple lasers, laser grid over, the blue sky, the pinkish, purple laser grid. Those cars, those look like, right, the cars racing at the bottom, that does look like, the movie poster style of 80s cars, or maybe even 70s cars racing like on a movie poster and a TV poster. And, Robot Man, Cliff Steele, was, a race car driver before he got into his accident and they had to put his brain in a robot body. And you see Brendan Fraser, he has on like a racer's jacket. I don't watch, racing, so I don't know what the terminology is, but that's the way they look, right? They dress in suits like those. Timothy Dalton as the Chief, replacing Bruno Bashir, who played the Chief first. I know Bruno Bashir is probably upset about that. Sitting in his wheelchair, as spoilers if you saw Titans, the Chief, his character, he was walking, but then when he had that fateful encounter with Raven after she was mad at him for trying to experiment on her on the table, her soul self lashed out and hit him, and now he's paralyzed again, probably from the waist down. In the comics, he could use his upper body pretty well. It was his legs he often couldn't use. And I don't know what time period, if this is supposed to be a certain time period this poster harkens back to, although it does remind me of kind of like a Western because of the crinkled paper feel and the font. Like Wanted, Dead or Alive or something. Although the Chief isn't exactly a Wanted, Dead or Alive type of character, I guess. I mean, compared to the other ones. But that seems to be the style. That's what I'm thinking of, like a Western kind of period poster here. He's sitting in front of screens and, lab stuff, which is the kind of stuff, the Chief would be sitting in front of. Oh, no, those labs? No, those aren't TV screens. That's like a window. So yeah, it's a lab. It's like an old school lab. And maybe the way the beakers and stuff are stylized. I know in like the 60s and 50s, sci-fi movies, there'd be a lot of, people in labs doing weird stuff. So maybe it also has kind of, it's reminiscent of some of that. Diane Guerrero is Crazy Jane. This makes me think of maybe an 80s or 90s music poster, for somebody's band or a concert. That's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it makes you think of something else. That font also, the way the font, Doom Patrol font on here, does look it has kind of a 70s feel to it to me. Those letters. So maybe this is supposed to be a 70s themed poster, although this seems like something I would have seen on an 80s or a 90s album cover for an alternative or a rock band or something. Crazy Jane, as you know, she has multiple personalities, and each personality has a different superpower, so that's probably why they have... You notice the pictures behind her of, faces cut out. It looks kind of fractured, almost like fractured glass, and I think it's kind of thematic of a fractured psyche. Because, when you have multiple or split personalities, it's your mind or your persona splits into different people. And I think that's what I think of here. Here we have Javon Wade as Cyborg. A strange addition to the Doom Patrol, because Cyborg has nothing to do with the Doom Patrol in the comics. But I guess he's going to be a member of the show. This doesn't have a specific time period to me. It does remind me of a TV show, though, a poster for Friday Night Lights, you know, that football drama that came on. Because, you know, it has him as Victor Stone in the back with his football uniform on and his helmet. And he has on like a football jacket, you know, in the front. And, you know, he's standing like this. So this does make me think of like a sports movie. Although this poster style could be, I think, it doesn't seem specific to a certain decade. But, you know, it is the kind of poster I think you might see for like a sports movie or a sports TV show. And last but not least is April Bowlby as Elasty Woman. And you remember in their Doom Patrol's guest appearance in the Titans TV show, they, you know, kind of changed the character's origin where she was like an old time silent movies. I don't know about silent movies, maybe like 20s or 30s. No, she wasn't silent. Like I don't think she was like 20s or 30s or whatever. And so this poster definitely is reminiscent of that era, you know, classic old black and white Hollywood. I don't know what period that is because I guess I'm not that big on my movie history, but I think you know what I'm talking about. The old black and white stuff. She even has on like the fur coat in the back. You know, the way she looks, and I think she's holding like a cigarette, like, you know, the film noir, femme fatale kind of characters, that kind of stuff. You know, the lady with an edge, sort of, kind of, at least for that time period. And the font, you know, it's stylized in that old school font, you know, from those periods. And in the front, she seems to have like a 50s kind of dress. And her hair is styled like that, just like it was styled that way on the actual, like, Titans TV show guest appearance. And there we have it. There are Doom Patrol character posters. And I think I think it's a pretty neat idea. And it was very, you know, came together pretty dutifully. And I'm very intrigued. I'm excited because I think Doom Patrol is a team I like in the comics. And I think that with DC Universe, they have an opportunity to do something really special with them. This will be their first time, you know, in live action. And I think because, you know, the Doom Patrol has different stuff going on from a lot of other super teams, they could create something with the show really unique and interesting. And I just love the stylized posters. And it's almost like each character, I guess, comes from or is reminiscent of a different time period. You know, a clash of characters. So I don't know. I guess, oh, duh. Is each character on the show supposed to come from a different time period? Is that... I guess the light bulb went off. Are they supposed to be like different? Okay, that makes sense, I guess. If that's what the show's going for. Maybe that's why they did it. Duh, right? Took me a while to get that. It wasn't just them doing it willy-nilly. Maybe that's how it actually is going to be on the show. Okay, if so, oops. The light bulb went off, but whatever. I mean, whether that is what that is or not, if it's just something cool or nifty, or if it's actually going to be, you know, indicative of what the show's like, I'm still going to watch it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.